Hi, my name is Eldon Bruna Anakawen. Regarding on the individual assignment given, I have chosen the case of doping cost Lance Armstrong, sponsors and charity. If you guys are wondering who is Lance Armstrong, Lance Armstrong is a professional road cyclist. He has won 7 Le Tour de France world titles. Le Tour de France is the pinnacle of cycling sport. Mr. Lance Armstrong is born in 18 September 1971. Prior to his cycling career, he is a professional triathlete. In 1996, he is diagnosed with testicular cancer. In the following year, he founded the Livestrong Foundation. This foundation aims to raise funds and resources to help cancer patients, survivors, and their families. Lance Armstrong's 15-year cycling career was not without controversy. He faced numerous allegations of doping as his fame increased in the late 90s and the early 2000s. Despite the allegations, he is still yet to be caught as he was very meticulous and very cautious. A few years later, in 2011, as the allegations were increasing, the United States Anti-Doping Agency carried out an investigation on Mr. Armstrong. As the amount of evidence keeps piling up, the USA Doping Agency stated that Armstrong indeed was using performance-enhancing drugs. Blood samples from 2009 and 2010 were examined along with testimonies and witnesses, including Mr. Armstrong's former teammate. In the world of professional sports, this is a serious offense. The allegations were proven by the doping agency. They decided to suspend Mr. Armstrong from all cycling and triathlon competitions. Mr. Armstrong, along with his 5 teammates, including former team manager Mr. Johan Brunel, were charged by the doping agency. They also stated that the performance-enhancing drugs used by Mr. Armstrong provided boost to his body and allow him to have unfair advantage during his competition. The drug Mr. Armstrong has been using varies from erythropoietin, testosterone, human growth hormone, cortisone, saline and plasma infusions, along with blood transfusions. Information from the United States Anti-Doping Agency investigation shows that Armstrong and his accomplice have been using performance-enhancing drugs for years, and they have been trying to cover it up from the authorities. Armstrong's former teammate Floyd Landis and Tyler Hamilton has confessed of doping and admitted that they knew Mr. Armstrong used banned substances in his tour victories. As the result of this doping scandal, I've categorized the outcome into 3 types. The first was based on Livestrong Foundation. The scandals that surround Mr. Armstrong's career has resulted him to step down as the chairman of the foundation. His reason was to spare the foundation from any negative effects as a result of his notorious cycling career. Nonetheless, he still remains the charity's board of directors. Prior to the doping scandal, numerous victories has led to sporting brand endorsing Mr. Armstrong. Corporate giants begins to see this as an opportunity of business by sponsoring Mr. Armstrong, including brewery company Anheuser-Busch. After the doping scandals happened, sports brands giant Nike has decided to drop Mr. Armstrong from their brand. They stated that the evidence against him is overwhelming. Not long after, the brewery giant Anheuser-Busch indicates that they will not extend Mr. Armstrong's contract and it will expire at the end of the year. The last category I'm going to talk about is career-wise of Mr. Armstrong. He is permanently banned from all sports that adopt the World Anti-Doping Agency code. To make matters worse, all 7 previous Le Tour de France titles that he won was stripped away from him. He was left no major title under his belt. As a conclusion from this scandal case, a loophole in the regulations and the rules of any system, regardless of the sector, can be taken advantage of if no precautionary step is taken. These issues must be addressed, and regulations must be continuously improved to avoid unethical, unprofessional behavior like this happens in the near future. That's all from me. Thank you.